Next guest here on Moneyball, I have my man Owen Parker. What is up, Owen?
Not much. How we doing?
Doing great, man. Pleasure to have you. Owen Parker is with WGR, doing his thing over there. He's also the director of goaltending over at Nichols. Many of you know Owen, maybe his pops being the Bulldog with WGR. But this show here is about Owen, what Owen's up to, and everything Owen. This is all Owen. So pleasure to have you on the show, dude. I know you and I texted a little bit. We talked a little bit, man. I definitely like your energy, and I think we'll have a good conversation here, just kind of getting to know each other a little bit. I do want to start a little bit with your hockey career, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
You played some juniors. You played New Mexico Ice Wolves, right?
Yep. That's
Dude, I got to get myself a New Mexico Ice Wolves hat or jersey or something, right?
they got some really good colors too. You're gonna love the gear. They got the best jerseys in junior hockey. They're awesome. They're like teal, orange, red. They got it all. It's really good. Great logo.
I
Really
love it.
cool
I have to
organization.
say, the minor league organizations, man. The first year I was coaching, I think it was T-ball for my kids, and we were the Fireflies.
Nice.
And they had the neon green with this baby blue color. By the way, shout out to Jack's batting gloves. All right, they just happened to be here.
There you go. No free ads. Right.
Shout out to Jack's, but they were that color with the line, almost like this, right?
Right. That's awesome.
It was cool, man. But
Yeah.
thanks for coming on. Go into your career a little bit, man. How everything kind of played out when you started playing at a young age, and dive into that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I started playing at a really young age. I was 4 years old. My dad took me over to the Nichols School for my first learn to skate. It's one of my earlier memories I've ever had was my first, time stepping on the ice. And I remember I was able to stand up right away. I didn't fall over right away. And I made a left turn. And I said in my head, like, oh, this is it. This is what I'm doing. I love this. And then couldn't make a right turn and got pretty upset about that. But that's kind of the way it goes with that game. But I played for a long time for my whole youth, sort of playing for the Buffalo Bisons, just local at North Buffalo. Never played and travel, just kind of hung out. I was a defenseman until I was 12 or 13 years old. We had a house league on the Bisons with like 40 dudes on it and not a single goalie. And my dad knew one of his beer league buddies was about my size. Mind you, I'm, 12, 13. This is an adult man we're talking about. So I was a big kid. And he knew I could get the gear. So let's give it a shot. Why not? And I went out there for the first time. My dad put the pads on the wrong legs. So I was slamming my knees into the ice. I was not very happy. We fixed it quickly, but I was not off to a hot start in my goaltending career. But just fell in love with it. I loved being back there. I loved stopping the puck. I always thought the gear was awesome. Ryan Miller was my hero, even when I was a defenseman. And I just dove in headfirst into the goalie side. And I played a couple more years with the Bisons, ended up doing like single A and then a year of double A. And then before it was the day of tryouts for the Buffalo Regals new SCTA team, I got a call from one of my best buddies' dad, Mike Suda. He's the coach of that team. Total psycho, but really one of the best dudes you'll ever meet. And he called me. He said, "My goalie just left. I don't have a goalie for this year. I saw you play one time with the Bisons. You were huge. You want to come try out for the Regals today?" And I was like, "All right, AAA, sure." I had no clue what I was getting myself into. It was just, and that was the start of it. I went out, I skated, I made the team, and I started my journey playing real sort of elite level hockey. I had no idea. I was trying out for this AAA team. All I knew was, oh, AAA. That's the highest level of travel hockey. Like, that's awesome. I'm gonna go do that. Little did I know, the SCTA was essentially a feeder league for the OHL. It was all the top elite guys at that age group, 15U, 15 only, would go play in this league in Southern Ontario or
So you were traveling over the border a couple times a week, right?
Yep, it was every game we played that wasn't at home was played in Canada. We were the only US team in the league. We had an awesome, fun team, and I had no clue what I was doing, really. I loved hockey, I loved playing, and I was getting better, so I just kept playing. And about halfway through that year, I started getting emails from like these teams. What is this? Oshawa Generals? What? It's an OHL team. I guess I should read this email now.
Yeah.
And I just started getting, scouting reports like, give us a little info about you, your family, where you came from. We're getting our, bases ready for draft prep. And that was my first, like, maybe I'm pretty good at this.
Wow.
Like, this might be something here. And so I decided, like, let's do it. Let's jump in. I love the game. I always did. It was always my favorite thing to do. But I never had an inkling that, like, you could do this for real, like, chase this. And that was it. And from then on, I just started ramping up. I started training more, practicing more, and I got bigger and bigger. I got better and better, and I ended up getting drafted in the OHL that year by the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, 200th overall, or no, 199 overall,
99.
10th round. It was I got drafted there. I ended up going up there for rookie camp, thinking I'm going to go here and get lit up, get sent
Yeah.
home day 2.
Yeah.
Got through that whole camp, got invited to the main training camp. Same thing. Like, I'm going to go get torched. This is it.
How old are you?
All right, I'm here. I was, at that point, I would have been 17 or
17,
16. 16.
Okay.
16. So we ended up going to training camp, and I did well enough that they wanted me. They wanted me to play for the team.
This is a wild path. Right? Like, this doesn't happen. This is like fairy tale. I mean, for you to be literally a defenseman up until 12, 13 or whatever, right? And then jump into the Regals and say, hey, I might be okay at playing goaltender, to being drafted in the OHL. I don't think, the more cerebral hockey listeners will understand, obviously, what we're talking about. But for the average person to say, oh, I was drafted in the OHL with your limited experience, and for you just kind of winging it, dude, like, you're being a little humble. Like, dude, that's incredible.
Well,
That's incredible. And you didn't even, like, you were just kind of go in it like, yeah, whatever.
I just like the game. I just like to play. I'm leaving out, like, I had a lot of good people around me. Obviously, my dad, you mentioned before, Bulldogs. He's always been around the game. He grew up playing. Obviously, has been talking about the Sabres in the NHL for 25 years on the radio now. So obviously, he's there shepherding me along on this journey. And then,
yeah, but when it comes time to play, bro, when it comes time to play and be in between the pipes, he's not there with you. So
I mean, I had all the support in the world, and they made it possible. But I had a crazy journey. You're not lying. It was wild stuff, and it all happened so fast.
Yeah,
like, that was the thing. It was all. I started playing goalie, and then all of a sudden I'm playing travel, and then I'm playing AAA, and then now I'm playing against the number 5 overall pick in the NHL that year. Like, I went to camp, some 16-year-old kid from Buffalo, and then there's Barrett Hayton, just fresh off of getting drafted by the Arizona Coyotes. Then I was hooked.
You know what? It goes to show you, Owen, and listen, I'm not going to say, like, not playing at a young age, right? Like, obviously it's beneficial, right? But
of course,
for these parents, I mean, you started at 4, right? I think my son, who plays travel hockey with the Southtown Stars, he's a decent little hockey player. He enjoys it. He's having fun with it. He's 11 years old, and I don't pressure him. And I guarantee that your dad didn't put this huge pressure on you and emphasize, like, here's what we got to do in order to get to this level. He knew you were enjoying yourself. And to me, that's such a big part of it, right? And I do see it often with parents putting way too much pressure on kids to the point where they fall out of love with the game.
Yeah.
And the kids are almost looking at it like this is a potential paycheck if he gets drafted type thing. You watch it in the stands. You've seen so much of it. And you've seen it at way different, higher levels than me. Give me a little feedback on that.
That, to me, is it's got to be a top 5 thing that I'm grateful for from my parents in the journey that I went on, not just as a player, but as a man, to not feel the pressure that so many of my peers did, to make them feel like it was worth it. It was, I would say, if they had put that kind of pressure on me, I would have never in a million years gotten to where I got to. I would have never wanted to. I knew in my heart, with my family, they wanted me to succeed, but not because they wanted me to be a professional athlete that made a bunch of money. Not that that's bad, but they wanted me to just go, like, learn, become a new person, and
they saw the smile you put on your face.
It's incredible, and I'm so eternally grateful for that. And if there's one thing anybody takes away from this appearance today, this podcast today, I'd hope for it to be, if you're a parent out there with a kid that's chasing a dream, no matter how good they are, let them drive the bus.
I love that.
Don't push them anywhere they don't want to go. Because if you start doing that, I can't tell you how many guys I played with that had the talent and the ability to be a star in the NHL, that their parents drove them to just, I can't play this game anymore. I'm done. I can't do it.
And not only the game breaks them down mentally to the point they lose confidence in themselves, right? Because that goes so much in life, whatever you're doing, man. The confidence to say, I can do this or I can overcome things. And, not only the push to play, on the flip side, I've heard so many parents be so negative to their kids. I can't
Yeah.
in a million years ever say to my son, I have 3 little boys, ever say to them, you're not good enough, or you suck today, or you could
Yep.
have done this different, man. And it's
You
like,
you feel so horrible for these kids because they're just trying to play the game that they like playing, and their parents are turning it into a death march to go figure out whether you're good enough to go make money. It's like that's not what it's about. That's never what it's about. And you will. Is it possible to get there with that being the goal? Sure, but you will never be fulfilled or happy if that's how you're approaching it. The point of putting your kids in these games and having them play is let them learn how to problem solve and deal with adversity and learn how to grow. And if you're beating them down and telling them they're not doing it right, where's that going to happen? They're just going to want to stop.
tell me about the transition, I guess. So let's go into, you're with New Mexico. Was there a point, I guess, without sounding negative, where you were like, okay, I'm not going to play professional hockey? What was it, injury, or was it just, hey, I'm not going to play? I guess give me the rundown, or when you in your mind said, okay, this, new career path type thing.
Right. So yeah, just to quickly recap the rest of the hockey, I made that Sault Ste. Marie team, but decided to pursue college hockey, which if you sign in the OHL, I can't play college. So I had to forego that opportunity. I played another year with the Regals and then played a year at Nichols where I coach now. And then I ended up in New Mexico where you're talking about now. And every step of the way was wonderful and beautiful. And I learned so much and grew so much. And in New Mexico, I loved it. I had one of the best families you could ever imagine living with them, the Flints down there, that really helped me and just kept me stable. And I loved it. I loved playing and I loved competing and I was good and I had a future in it. And I had a little bit of concussion trouble. And that's concerning, especially as a goalie. You start getting them more and more often. They get easier and easier to get. And so that was always in the back of my mind. And I had also started to struggle with some of the culture of it. And a lot of the same things we're talking about here with parents. It's a lot of selfish people in hockey. And I struggled to deal with that. And I got to a point where it just didn't feel like it was what I was supposed to be doing. And I had to make the decision for myself like, I love this. I'm good at this. I could do this, but I won't be happy. I won't feel good about it, no matter how much money I'm making.
Yeah.
It's not the path that I'm meant to walk. And so I had to make a really tough decision after I got a concussion in New Mexico in December of my second year there. I was all messed up from the concussion, and I decided I need to go home and really think about what I was going to do and decide whether I was going to come back and chase it again. And so I went home early for Christmas break. I said, I'll let you know, like I'm in a transitional period here, maybe.
Sure.
And came home and came to that decision and said, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I decided, all right, I'm out. That's it. I'm cutting it off. I'm not gonna waste anybody's time trying to go keep doing it. I know I'm not gonna like it, and I'm not gonna perform if I'm not gonna like it. So that's it. I'm gonna cut it off. And so I came home. I never ended up going back to New Mexico. Well, I ended up going back to get all my stuff. That was it.
They're like, screw you. We're not mailing it if you're not coming.
Well, I had to go see the Flints one more time.
Yeah.
But it was, I that was it. That was my decision, and that was final. So I came home and I delivered pizzas for a couple years, and then I built houses for about a year for Raymond, which I loved. And then one day I came home. My dad mentioned like there's a position at GR that's been up for a while. You're probably not going to get it because you've got no experience. You didn't go to school, but you've always wanted to do this. If hockey wasn't the thing, apply, see what happens.
So TO.
Yeah.
And the real in the TO, man, you're absolutely more cerebral than you might even think you are. To have that know-withal, right, deep inside you, and I believe in manifestation, right, and things happening for a reason type situations. For you to understand and realize and say, hey, man, not only the concussions, but this just isn't a path for me. And to swallow your pride, man, I give you so much respect, dude. Seriously, like respect for you to swallow the pride, because you just said you delivered pizzas for a couple. Like, look where you were.
Yep.
In a potential opportunity, You said, I don't care. It
Yep.
wasn't for you, man. That takes a certain type of person. And I give you a ton of credit for that, dude.
Well, thank you. It's without a doubt the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life. I'm 23 years old, but that's a tough thing. I was giving up the chance for like millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah,
Not to, stretch out, but like if I had kept going and developed the way that I know I could have,
absolutely. Yeah.
that was where I was headed.
Yeah.
And that might sound cocky to say that, but I
I
know
think so.
that's who I was. And yeah, I just knew that that wasn't what's important to me. It's great. I'd love to make that much money now doing what I do, but you can't push yourself to things that you don't believe in. Is I was honest with myself. When it was over, it was over. And could I have taken it further? Sure. But I don't regret that one bit because I love where I'm at now. I'm super, super proud of the journey that I've been on. And I love that I'm able to share this kind of thing with people. I appreciate you for letting me share this kind of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It means the world because I think people need to see that you can make a change like that and it's not the end.
Right.
And now I'm at GR and I'm working and I'm doing their video content and I'm hosting and I'm incredibly excited about the future I have in that world.
Well, and I can
And I
see that.
wouldn't I wouldn't have got there.
I can see the happiness, man. And now you're doing something you seem pretty passionate about, man. Tell me about the new adventures. What's it like?
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. I started in December over there. The WGR station just they wanted to start doing video content. So they got some cameras set up in the studio and they needed somebody to operate them and edit all the film and broadcast the show live. And so that's my gig. I'm over there and we're live on YouTube every morning with Jeremy and Joe and in the afternoon with my old man and Mike Shope. And I'm over there, we live stream every show live. And then we've got shorts content, social content, long form YouTube stuff, the podcasting stuff, all that. I got my fingers in all the pots.
Love it, man.
And now I'm on air almost every day with Jeremy and Joe now. They've been unbelievable. I can't thank those guys enough for what they've done for me. I've known Jeremy for forever.
They'll just
Just
put
through my
anybody on.
dad.
They'll put anybody on air now, huh?
I know it's insane, isn't it? I know. But they really have been incredible resources for me in starting my career in this world, obviously alongside my father, who's
Sure.
been my hero, and I've learned everything I know from.
That's really cool,
So
man. Like he's obviously a Buffalo legend. That's really cool to hear.
yeah, it's really been a blessing. I am so proud of the work that we're doing over there. Everything's going really well. The content's doing really well, thanks to all you people out there that watch it.
Absolutely.
And I'm getting more on air now, some solo hosting stuff. I'm going to be on doing some pregame stuff for the Bills next weekend, and just I love it. I love talking sports, man. I grew up doing it. I think I was kind of built in a lab to do this thing. So
100%, 110% a natural. Your chemistry, the way you can vibe with people. I have a feeling you could pretty much have a conversation with anyone. When you're passionate about sports like you and I are, I mean, there's no doubt you and I could sit down and have lunch and talk sports and look and be like, oh my God, 5 hours went by. You know what I mean?
exactly.
And obviously Buffalo, we're big hockey, we're big football, but it's nice to be well versed in everything, right? But you can add a lot of insight to a lot of people might not know, like, hey, here's how it works with juniors or OHL, even saying like you can't go to college and play in the OHL, right? A lot of things the average listener wouldn't know. And you can add a lot of that feedback to it, which I think is a really cool element.
Yeah, I'm super grateful. That's how they started me off with Jeremy and Joe. Was you were a goalie, Sabres are playing. People don't know what goalie is voodoo. They don't what is this? Am I supposed to be mad at this guy right now? And that was my first on air appearance. Was Jeremy was like, let's do a segment. We'll call it Ask a Goalie. And there we go. We got a goalie to ask questions to that can give us real sort of
I like that.
legitimate goaltending insight. And so, yeah, that's what I try and bring. I mean, I try and share as much as I can about what I know about the hockey world and the football world and baseball, basketball, all that. I want to share what I got because I got thoughts, that's for sure.
So I got to ask, goalies have a stigma, right?
Oh, yeah.
Goalies are unlike any other humans that I've met on the earth, from the most elite level down to peewee goalies.
Yeah.
Goalies are a different species of dude. You're actually one of the most normal goalies I've ever met.
I get that a fair bit. I'm an outlier for the goaltending union.
I mean, man, I've met some of them who just from daily routines, they'll do everything backwards or superstition or whatever it is. What do you think it is with goalies and that whole stigma with them?
Oh, it's the position. It's the nature of the position. You're the only guy. You're on an island, and you make a mistake, a big red light goes on above your head. So you're gonna have some stuff going on up here. Most people won't. I mean, there's so much pressure in it. It's so lonely, and you end up developing a lot of it's the habits like you're talking about that develop into rituals and superstition. And it's just you got to figure out some way to quiet all that down because there's a million different things you can have go in your head that you do not want in your head when you're in that net. And I think that being a weirdo is kind of just the coping mechanism that
It's
I'd say
awesome.
about 98% of us find.
Awesome.
And we've
So
all got it. You say I'm normal, but there's stuff under here that I keep under wraps that you people would not believe.
well, don't ever change though, man. I mean, the weirdness and everything else is what makes us all characters and gives us all our identity, and makes you who you are. So
Absolutely.
tell me a little bit about Nichols. How did that come
Okay.
about and how is everything going over there?
It's great, man. I loved my year at Nichols playing. I transferred in as a senior to play just one season. Ended up being a COVID year, which was tough to end it. But we had a great squad, great coaches, the teachers there, the whole community with Nichols is really it's unlike any other school I'd ever been around. It's beautiful. And so I got home and finished up. I was just sort of putzing around. What am I going to do? Delivering pizzas. And I got a text from Mike Suda, the guy that called me to be the original, that's how I got into the game. He called me and said, listen, I got this guy, RJ Gastevich, 16U coach at Nichols at the time. He does these summer clinics. Go, he needs a guy to help him out. Go help him out. You guys would connect. Very similar story to me in terms of concussions, ending a career early.
Yeah.
And me and RJ hit it off, and I started doing all his summer stuff. And then towards the end of the summer, he asked me, like, I need somebody for this year for Nichols. Like, I don't have an assistant. You're not up to much. Like, you want to jump on? So I dove in, like, all right, this is a way for me to make a difference in the way that I want to here. Let's do it. I loved RJ. I loved Nichols. And so that was my in. So I've coached the 16U team as an assistant coach with RJ for a year. And then he took over the prep program and was now the director of the whole hockey program over there at Nichols. And we've been attached to the hip, just going through it together. I'm now the director of goaltending over there. We got a great program going. RJ is I can't say enough good things about RJ. He's a young Sean McDermott sort of mind, coaching wise. Looks like Sean McDermott a little bit too. He's an unbelievable guy. He's a brilliant, strict strategist in terms of the actual game, and he's one of the best motivators and connectors with athletes that I've ever been around.
I can tell
Truly, what's that?
you've made a good reputation for yourself as well. Me being around the hockey world a little bit and, with my new company and everything else, your name came up more than once, as far as someone that I need to connect with and talk to. And you're very well liked, not only by, the players, but by the parents, these same parents that we're talking about that are so instrumental, you're very
Yeah.
well respected and very well liked by them, and I can see why,
Yep.
obviously. And I'm not sitting here trying to toot your horn, but I can see why. And that everything fell into place.
Yep. It really did. It truly did. It was just everything fell into place for me to jump on with RJ and jump on that 16U train. We ended up winning states. He got bumped up, and we've been loving it ever since. The program's building, it's growing. We're getting more guys from out of town. We're getting more of the top Buffalo guys. I really can't say enough good things about the school and the hockey program itself. It's a really great place to grow as a hockey player and as a person. It's really beautiful.
It's definitely become, elite in as far as, if you can get up to that level. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the tattoos. I see them underlined.
Oh,
All right,
all
let's
right.
right.
Yeah.
I see a fellow
Yeah.
tattoo guy. I got to ask him, right? So let's see what we got
Yeah.
on there. Let's talk about them.
So this first one here, my little smiley face, is that's in memory for a good friend of mine that I played in New Mexico with, Mac Motzko. He passed away in a car accident
Sorry.
after my first year down there. And he always had a grin on his face. He was a beautiful kid, one of the brightest souls I ever met.
Man,
And so that's my first one right here. That's to remember Mac.
gives me chills. You
Yeah, super special to me.
yeah.
So I love that one. The rest of these are all music. So I've got this was my first one here, little Bird on an Anchor. It was I found it in a sketchbook or a lyric book of a Jason Isbell record.
Okay.
Love Jason Isbell. He's one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah.
I loved it. I said, all right, this I got it right when I got home. It was kind of a pivotal time.
I dig
It
it.
just
Yeah.
felt right. So I got that one done. It's beautiful. I love it. I got them done at Modern Love on Delaware Avenue.
No, no,
That's my guy.
that's a big one there.
They're awesome. He is unbelievably talented. These all have healed perfectly. He's really good. I got to visit him again soon. I got some ideas. And then next
They're
was my
so
little.
addictive, aren't they, man?
Oh, it's insane. It's been like a year since I got one, and I'm itching every day.
People don't understand how addictive they are. Like once you get, then people are like, I kind of ran out of it. Not to interrupt you, I ran out.
No, please.
So I started having my kids draw things for me, right? Like this is me and
Yeah.
Jason, and this is Be Kind. They drew a couple years ago, and I love it because I'll have those. And when you have kids, man, you can steal the idea. It's cool because now I can look back 10 years, be like, guys, you put these on me, like that was you at that state. And right when I had them, I put their footprints.
Nice.
It's funny,
Beautiful.
when you're in the hospital, everybody says, "Here, take this piece of paper and put the footprint on it." I had all baseballs for my kids, man. I'm a baseball.
Nice. I love it.
But
yeah,
they're so addictive, man. And I love the
Absolutely.
meaning, behind them too, because that's all different.
Yeah, no doubt. The other two are just this is Wilco. So lyric American aquarium drinker. It's a little fish in a whiskey glass, just like that one. And then my big skeleton guy, this guy might be my favorite.
That's awesome.
So, shiniest shoes in the graveyard. It's a Jack White lyric. I really like.
Yeah.
So those are my four now, but more coming soon. Soon. I gotta hit my boy Aiden up.
I love it, man. This was a lot of fun, man. This just, getting to know you and chopping it up a little bit was a great time. You and I are obviously going to keep in touch. There's a lot of projects that you and I, we'll both be in. But I certainly appreciate you coming on, taking some time with me and getting to know me a little bit.
Absolutely, man. Thanks so much. I appreciate you giving me the time to tell my story a little bit and get to meet you. And I'm excited to keep working with you.
Sounds great. Awesome. Thanks for your time, bro. We'll talk real soon.
Talk soon. Bye.
Take care.